Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Straight Outta Boston, and today I'm back for episode number 27 of my Brooklyn Nets franchise, or MyLeague series here on NBA 2K16. So today we're back with the final regular season episode for season number 3. You can see we have fallen to second place in the Eastern Conference. Only one back in the loss column, though, from Cleveland, a game and a half in total back. So really, every game from this point is a must-win if we want to get that number one seed, and I think that is going to be important. Remember, Cleveland did give us difficulties at the beginning of the season when we played them. So take a look at the Spurs team. They are currently out of the playoffs in the Western Conference, but they still have a pretty good core here with LaMarcus Aldridge, Kawhi Leonard, and some others. Tony Parker's still around. No Tim Duncan, no Manu Ginobili. But Kawhi has really turned into a beast, putting up 16 a game. LA's putting up about 20 and 8. So, when you got those two guys in your team, you can certainly stay in a lot of ball games. I'm pretty surprised they have not been in a lot of ball games so far. Like I said, they're out of the playoffs at the moment. But I think in part it is because Popovich is retired. They now have actually Dirk Nowitzki coaching them, ironically enough. So this this coaching matchup is Ray Allen versus Dirk Nowitzki, which I thought was kind of funny. But either way, Tony Parker now with the ball finds Danny Green. Foul line extending that three-pointer is money. Now San Antonio takes an early 3-2 lead. Here is Green once again finding Parker at or close to the top of the key. He looks for the screen from the young man Podol. Fadeaway three is money. So San Antonio with a couple of tray balls early. They've got a 2-point lead, but a big steal by Lopez. Good defensive anticipation. And then Bledsoe, nice bounce pass to Oladipo. Two-handed slam. And we tie this game back up at 6. So like I said, this is going to be the regular season finale. We will get into the playoffs in the next episode. It'll be fun to finally be in the playoffs for the first time in this series. It's kind of I wanted to make the playoffs last year. I thought we could have done it with the team we had, but we ended up coming up short at the end of the season, so it will be nice to get back there. I certainly did not expect to be like a 2 seed in the East, but I think a large part of that is the East has been pretty bad this season. I think we're only going to end up winning 45 to 47 games. I think we're 45 and 32 right now, so we've got 5 games left, so we'll probably end up winning, I'd say, somewhere between 45 and 48 games. So I mean, I don't know, it's been a good season. I certainly take that. I think that it's kind of right around where we expected to be. The 2 seed is a little bit misleading just because the Eastern Conference has been so bad. It was a little bit better last year. They had a couple better teams. I think the Celtics were pretty good. The Cavs were pretty good. I think the Heat were even half decent. So a lot of middling crap so far from the East, though, this season, and kind of like that in real life. It's a lot of mush in the middle, so to say, behind Cleveland and Toronto. But anyway, back to the episode, or back to the gameplay here. So here's Ray McCallum. He is going to find his man Sim Boular under the basket there, as we've got the second unit in now. He gives us the lead. Now it's 24-22. Luke Babbitt getting into the action. Take a look at this pass. I should have just gotten right up with that, but I think I was so amazed that Babbitt actually made that pass. Watch. I mean, look at this pass. This is not a pass Luke Babbitt makes with the legs. You can see Bowler's going to pump fake. I was like, what? That pass got through? And then I do end up drawing the foul shots, but he would only make 1 of 2. Now later in the first quarter, it is Kyle Anderson finding, what a pass. Wow. I didn't even realize that when I was editing that, but that was a serious pass from Anderson to find Kawhi. He drains the 3. That would tie up the game, and that would be the score at the end of 1. We are knotted up 25 apiece here in this battle of the black and white teams here. San Antonio, of course, I decided to go with the blue jerseys just to switch up the uniform colors, but anyway, a couple big blocks there, but offensive rebounds killing us. Parker is going to find his man. That is Jeremy Lamb. And the one thing I noticed about the San Antonio team was that the supporting cast is really not good around some of their core players. This big man that they have, like Jacob Podol, I was pretty unimpressed with him. He had a pretty bad game, I thought. They were playing Jonathan Simmons a little bit. They had Rodney Hood starting at the 4, I think. So, I don't know. I mean, I think you could get improvements over that. I mean, I think if you surrounded Kawhi and Aldridge with some better talent around them, they might have been a little bit better. But anyway, it could also be coaching too. I mean, it's really hard to evaluate Dirk Nowitzki as a coach. But anyway, there's Derek Favors taking advantage of the size mismatch. One thing I noticed San Antonio did this episode was they would cover Kawhi Leonard. They would put him on the point guard, and that would often leave a big mismatch because they were playing small ball. That means like either Patty Mills or Tony Parker was going to be covering one of our bigs while Podol was covering the other. So I don't know why they didn't just put Rodney Hood on one of the bigs. I feel like that would have been a better idea, but either way, I think Kawhi, maybe Kawhi actually starts at the power forward in this, and that's why the matchups were so off, but it really did kind of screw with them. It took me a while to figure it out, but I did start to go to that a little bit more in the second quarter. Now Podol is going to find Patty Mills, picked up by Babbitt, but that is never an issue. Mills goes around the screen, pulls up, and knocks down the 15-footer. Now it is Leonard down low. He misses. Boular on the rebound, gets it up court to Bazemore. Bazemore in transition, so dangerous. Actually hits him with a step back there and makes Patty Mills fall to the ground. Little ankle breaker of sorts right there. So we go back up by 2, but now a back and forth game this was in the second quarter, and Mills knocks it down. The jumper there, Patty Mills, he's so good in 2K. When you get a guy who can shoot like him, it is pretty overpowered in a game like this. Here we go now, Bazemore, though, he's going to find Babbitt. Look at Luke Babbitt elevating, two-handed slam. Yes, you saw that right. Do not adjust your lenses. Do not adjust your frames. That was a real dunk by Luke Babbitt. He did some things this game other than just stand in the corner and shoot threes, so kind of surprised me. But anyway, at the end of the first half, we're up by 2, 48-46, out shooting them, but turnovers have been an issue like usual, and they've killed us in the offensive boards as well, so that is why they've ended up with more field goal attempts, and that's why they have shot a lower percentage yet still stayed in this game. Anyway, Leonard knocks down the jumper there. Now it is Oladipo with the rebound. Tie game. He's going to find Bledsoe. Extra pass to Middleton. Good ball movement right there by the Nets in transition. And like I said, I've talked about it before. I'll harp on it again for a moment here. But really, since we added Oladipo, we have been so lethal in transition. He really likes to, kind of feeds into the way I like to play. And I mean, honestly, when I made that trade, I was like, well, all right, this will make sense for this year at least. And worst case scenario, if I drastically change up the roster in the offseason, then, I can always flip him for something, or, at the very least, he could be a good 4th, 5th option. Because, one thing I want to remain flexible with this team. I mean, we have a lot of cap space entering the free agency, and or entering the offseason, I should say. And, I've talked about it for a while, but I feel like we do need a true superstar if we want to compete for a title. I don't know with the group we have if we're going to be able to compete with the likes of OKC and like Minnesota out in the West, because those teams have true superstars like Durant, Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, Russell Westbrook. So, it is going to be tough. I think if we got into a 7-game series with a team like that, and even if we got into a 7-game series with Cleveland, they would have the 2 best players on the floor at all times, or not at all times, but for the most part with Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving. So, I want to remain flexible with this team moving forward, but at the same time, I really have liked the way we've played since we picked up Oladipo. I think he's really, at least with the group we have, he has really kind of completed us. He's almost like the missing piece of sorts with the group that we had and the way I wanted to play. Because now, we've got 5 pretty good defenders in our starting lineup. We've got guys who can run in transition. We've got athletic guys. It kind of fits into, a certain play style. It's kind of the style I've always wanted to play. The only thing I don't like about this team is we don't have a lot of good 3-point shooters. Middleton's good. Oladipo's kind of hit or miss. Bledsoe, he's a point guard, so it's kind of rare that he's off ball standing in the corner anyway. And then Favors and Lopez are by no means 3-point shooters. So it's really the only thing I don't like about this team. But you can see we've opened up a pretty big lead here. We were up by 9 at one point, 83-74, and one there is going to make it a 6-point game. And then Tony Parker misses, but a bad play by Oladipo lets Leonard get the offensive rebound, and then another and one makes it an 83-80 game. Now we go back up by 5 here. Here's Oladipo driving in. He's going to find Middleton fading away. That bucket is good, so we go back up by 7 now. About 5 minutes to play. It's a 5-point game. Here's Rodney Hood with the ball, though, looking for the screen from Podol. He's going to pull up from behind the line. That is money. It's a 2-point game once again now, 89-87. Oladipo, that shot's no good, but Lopez is there, puts it back up and in. Now it's a 2-possession game once again, 91-87. Here we go, same score. Parker on the boards. He is going to look to push the pace here, looking for Leonard. He'll take it himself, and he does a good job of avoiding the block right there. I thought Lopez could have gotten the block. He took a good angle, but Leonard protected the ball. And then here's Patty Mills. Actually, that's Tony Parker, excuse me, left alone. He knocks down the 3. San Antonio retakes a 1-point lead. Now 92-91 is the score. Bledsoe splits the defense on the screen, takes it himself, one-handed slam, and Brooklyn now goes back on top, 93-92. Now 95-94. Parker with it, picked up by Oladipo, looking for the screen. He's going to go around the screen, pull up, and his midi is money. It's a 1-point lead once again for San Antonio. But here we go. It is Favors. Extra pass to Lopez. Jumper is good. We go back up by 1. Back and forth has been the nature of this game for all 4 quarters, and has continued to be that. A bad turnover there, though. Podol, he's going to take it, and he gives San Antonio the 1-point lead. So here we go. Final seconds now. I see the mismatch. That's Kevin Looney trying to cover Brook Lopez, and Lopez is going to just bully his way into the paint. He draws the foul. He will go to the line for 2. Makes the first, but misses the second, so this game remains tied with 7 seconds to play. San Antonio is going to get one final chance at the last shot. Here we go. 2 seconds and 1. Leonard for 3. No good. His shot goes short, and that is going to send us to overtime. So I believe this might be the first time in this entire series we've gone to overtime. I can't remember editing a 2K16 video and going into overtime. I really can't even remember the last time I edited an overtime video. It actually throws off my whole system of editing 2K videos. But either way, good pass by Leonard, finds Mills there, so San Antonio goes up by 2. Now a turnover. Podol with the steal. Leonard now on the break. He is going to take it himself. Pull-up J is good. San Antonio goes up by 4, 106-102. Now here we go, trying to answer back. It's Middleton. He's got the small man on him. He goes up once, or tries to go for the fake, then finally puts it up, puts it in off the glass. 2-point game now after San Antonio makes it 4 again. This was an awful turnover. I was trying to rush there. bad decision. Mills on the other end, floater, that is good. Now the foul would be a loose ball foul, so no and one. It's still a 6-point game. We get it back to 4. Puddle here. If we can get a stop, we can try and get back in it. And we get the stop, but we can't get the rebound. Oh, Lopez. That was a bad play. So now it's a 5-point game. We need a 3-pointer. Middleton for 3. That one goes short. Rebounded by Puddle. And that is going to do it. San Antonio is going to walk out of here with the victory. 113-108 is your final. A good hard-fought victory for the Spurs. And I was really impressed. I mean, with the way they played, I honestly could not believe they weren't even at least in the Western Conference playoffs, considering they did this without LaMarcus Aldridge as well. He was out this game, along with Hassan Whiteside, who's out for the rest of the season. But anyway, big issue for us, 17 turnovers. They also had 5 more offensive rebounds than us, so kind of was the reason they took 21 more shots than we did. Middleton had another good game. He's been playing really well lately. And we had 3 guys with double-doubles. Middleton almost had one. But Middleton, ever since we got Oladipo, I don't know if it's just a coincidence or not, but he's been playing really, really well. Leonard had 39 points. He hit 4 threes. That was a big reason why they ended up picking up the victory. Parker also had 23, and then Mills kind of double figures. And then they had a bunch of guys with between like 4 and 9 points, so maybe I didn't give their supporting cast enough credit. But anyway, that's going to do it. Hope you guys did enjoy, and here's the 2K postgame show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present to you our Jordan Player of the Game, Kawhi Leonard. He put up a new season high tonight, and if he keeps shooting like he did tonight before the season's over, he might top it. A big key to his team's victory here.
Well, he came to rescue the team tonight, Ernie. Things were getting desperate for him, and the consecutive losses kept mounting. But he put him on his back, and he responded exactly the way he needed to.
There's no question about it. As far as small forwards go, Kawhi Leonard is right up there with the best of them. You know if you leave him open, he's going to knock it down every look he gets. But what makes him elite is his stifling brand of D.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a great night.